All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and to the elect. It's your brother Ra'aya back with another video. And I wanted to talk about this video I kind of ran across on YouTube. And it says, why women destroyed Rome, right? And it goes into an extensive, explanation of all of the different things that happened that contributed towards the fall of the internal Roman Empire, like the marriage structure and everything that was popping off during that time. And I'm like, listen, how funny is that? This same thing is happening in this modern day Rome, to this day. And I'm going to do this in parts. And fair use. This is a non-monetized video. Matter of fact, I'm going to mute that. But let me go to my first example of it. I'm on this website. It's called heartisty.org. And it basically reads, it says, this guy draws an interesting comparison between feminism and ancient Rome and present day America, because we know when the women of your civilization, or even of your tribe or of your nationality, when they turn against you, then effectively from the time they turn against you up until is literally just a ticking time bomb up until the collapse of your society, because you can't do nothing without the family structure. And if the woman is not on one accord with her man, then we know that surely confusion and destruction will happen to that household. So as we see with Esau's household, if Satan be against Satan, then how must his house stand, right? And and if we see the so-called white woman is changing and turning against her men. And we see even in our nation, we see in our tribe and the Southern Kingdom, we see that the Judite woman and the Benjamite woman and the Levite woman, but primarily the Judite woman, let's keep it there, is turning against her men, and she's going towards the Edomite man, which she don't even know. He only sees her as a concubine, But the thing is that this is all supposed to happen this way. But the thing is that Esau's women, the so-called white man's women, his woman is going for Jake. And once their women go for another man, it screams they are no longer the power, because women are hypergamous by nature, meaning they're striving for the best man, and they will not settle unless they have the best man. And in order for them to settle, they have to get the best man. So the best man is the Jake man, of course, and women are realizing this, and especially the Edomite woman is realizing this, and therefore she is going for Jake. And that means Esau's kingdom is about to fall. But this same thing was illustrated back in the times of Rome, which we were in those times as well. The Israelites were in those times as well. And the same thing is repeating itself, like the scriptures say, nothing new is under the sun. So we're going to get this this first page, and it says, this guy, should I highlight it? No, I don't have to highlight it. But the post says, feminism responsible for the fall of Rome. And it says, this guy draws an interesting comparison between feminism in ancient Rome and present day America, and how the rise of feminism portends a civilization's collapse, right? Because whenever women are outside of their natural order, that's when the crumbling starts to happen. The parallels are chilling. Yeah, it's Reddit. What do you want me? What do you want from me? You think you're going to get this kind of cutting edge analysis in the New York Beta Times? Unfortunately, feminism and future is an oxymoron, or fortunately, depending on your point of view. Because, feminism is not something that's of the future, because when feminism comes, you have no future. Basically, is what they're saying, as it seems to be unsustainable on the long run. Based on past history, it appears that a civilization that embraces feminist values will cease to exist in just a few centuries. This is why we have never seen a feminist civilization aside from very short spans at the end of the Roman Empire and possibly a few other more ancient civilizations. So, the end of the Roman Empire, feminism was in full effect, and it played a contributing factor. Although when you look it up on Google, they do not even bring up the fact that it was a cause of the Roman Empire falling. Well, the morale of they'll say it was the military. There was no morale in the military, or there was no reason for them to. Let's look it up. Alright, so it says the fall of the Western Roman Empire was it wasn't due to one single cause, but a combination, including relentless barbarian invasions, severe economic troubles, political instability, and military decay. Now, that military decay, the reason why the military decayed is because in the military there are men. And if the men aren't fighting for anything, they're not gonna go hard in anything. If they don't have a family as something that they're fighting for, then what the hell do we need to do this for, And that's what's happening in Babylon the Great as well. Like, we even seen videos on TikTok where the military, they some flaming LGBTQs, and they went around and they asked people what it was they joining the military for, and they was like for a car, for a Hellcat, for all this other dumbass shit, like to get a house. And some other men said and they have women in there as well, so that was going to decay the military, but for Babylon, the Great, A.K.A. America, that's what's going on. But the military decay, we can go here, and it says military decay refers to a decline in a nation's armed forces, strength, readiness, or effectiveness, often seen in streakage recruitment pools, which is happening here in Babylon the Great. Budgetary constraints, loss of public trust, because that's another thing that's happening here in Babylon the Great, where we don't necessarily trust our political figures anymore, or our military, because they're going and they're fighting wars which the public do not agree with. They're going and doing all types of shit, right? So, that's going to cause for a lot of mistrust, and it says, and skill atrophy, leading to fewer qualified personnel. And that's another thing. They just allowing, due to the feminism, they allow women to come into the military, which this was back in Rome. But even in today's time, they was allowing women to come into the military, and the women are causing for the qualifications to be scared based on them being women, because they can't do the same thing that men can do. So now they have to lower the standards of the militia, which lowers the standards of the military, period, because you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if your weakest link are women, then you just out of it. But this is part 1 of it, y'all, and I'm gonna get part 2.